Reusable module design. A reusable module is a contract, not a shortcut. The contract is a set of input variables, output values, and provider expectations exposed by the module block interface. When the interface is narrow, callers can change values without changing internal resource logic. When the interface is unstable, every caller becomes coupled to internal implementation details. Terraform modules are called with a module block that passes source, input arguments, and optionally version constraints for registry modules. Reusable design starts by exposing only the values callers must control. Each extra variable enlarges the module surface and increases validation burden. A variable should exist only when the caller needs policy control over that setting. Everything else should stay internal so the module can evolve without breaking callers. Terraform variables define the input interface for a module, and outputs expose selected data back to the caller. A module becomes reusable when repeated decisions are moved inside the module. Internal defaults eliminate duplicate caller code and enforce consistent resource construction. This works only when defaults reflect a stable policy, not a one-off project assumption. The caller should describe intent. The module should translate that intent into concrete resource arguments. Outputs should expose identity, not internals. A caller usually needs the parameter ARN or name, not the full resource object shape. If outputs mirror every internal attribute, callers start depending on accidental details. That dependency makes refactoring expensive because internal changes become external breaking changes. Outputs are the supported way to expose selected module data to other Terraform configurations. A reusable module should declare provider requirements, but usually should not hardcode provider configurations inside the child module. When the child owns region or credentials, the caller loses control over execution context. That makes the module harder to reuse across accounts, regions, and aliases. The root module should usually configure the provider and pass alternate provider instances explicitly when needed. On a submarine, the compartment boundary matters more than the equipment inside it. When one compartment floods, the boundary decides whether the casualty stays local or takes the boat with it. A bad module interface fails the same way. If provider ownership, naming rules, and outputs are not bounded, one local change can propagate across every caller.